This is the big one. I'm gonna do this in English as good as possible. Do keep in mind I am a Danish bloke, and so is Lars von Trier. I'm gonna say his name like we do it in Denmark, just for my own sake. And I'm also gonna say Riget instead of Riget, as English reviewer would do it. So in Danish, in Denmark, we call Lars von Trier's series Riget. You know, you call it The Kingdom, I think, or just Kingdom. But The Kingdom. Let's just say The Kingdom. And there's a lot of shows out there with the word kingdom in it, so it can easily be, disappear on the radar, I should imagine. But there's only one show called Riget, and in Denmark we call it Riget. It's not so important, but you probably knew that already. So moving on to the new series, because it's the point of making this video on my behalf. Anywho, Exodus, or Exodus in Denmark, I don't know. We don't use that word that often, so I guess we just call it Exodus or Exodus. Maybe Exodus would be more the Danish. But it's not about the language, it's about the product. I know. I'm just trying to get this from an angle that will make sense, and that's very hard because I never sit down and imagine what I will say once I start record. So this is just as much as a review as it is a conversation between you and me. One way. You can write back, then it's a two-way. But Lars von Trier have made a fucking new show. I don't know how to say it, because for me it's very exciting. I've literally been waiting on the final season 3, so to speak, in his work called Riget, aka Kingdom, The Kingdom, for you guys outside Denmark. And since 1997, I don't know, around, I would almost say 25 years, I guess. It has been 25 years. I guess it was, the first one was in 94, if I remember it right. And then the second was in 97. And the first season was 4, episodes. And the second one was 4 episodes, and the third new one, called Riget Exodus, is 5. So it's a total 13. Lars von Trier really knows how to nail it out of the park. Even the number of the total show is diabolic in some ways. But yes, this is the first season on DVD, bought in Denmark, Riget, as you can see, and this is the second, Riget 2. Yes, that's the Swedish bloke, the jävla danskara. That's his line on top of the hospital. And by the way, let me just, if you don't know, the hospital you see in the show is the real Riget. It's not a prop, or a random building, coded up in the show to make it, something fake. It isn't. They're using the air footage done by a helicopter, I guess, in season 1 and 2, and just showing you our biggest pride hospital in Denmark, and that's why the and let me start off saying I see this show mainly and first of all as a satire. That's very important for me to say right off the bat. I don't see this as a horror series. It is a big satire, and not only on Danish, subjects or matters or typical Danish stuff. There is some typical Danish stuff that is poking, that like Lars is poking at. He always do that, I guess, at some point. But it's mainly like in Riget, he pokes at global stuff, especially in Exodus, the new one. And we're gonna get to that in a second, I promise. But I'm just trying to set it up, how it fits in and why it is so great. We cannot do that without mentioning at least what it's built on. The new 5-hour show. I actually see it as just as much movie. It has a movie quality, was what I was trying to get at. But just like when David Lynch made Twin Peaks, it was some of the same quality that we were used to. And do keep in mind, if you don't know, the whole reason Lars von Trier started the project back in the 90s was because he saw Twin Peaks and thought, oh my God, that's brilliant. And Lynch had mentioned at an interview that it was like working with left arm, and that was kind of liberating, because it gave them some freedom, because that was new, and the way he told it. And Lars von Trier totally bought into that and said, oh yeah, that's I guess he were at a point where he were looking for the next inspiration, and that just fitted right in there, let's try that on for size. Do keep also in mind, Lars von Trier is, if not the main brainchild behind the Dogma, phenomenon. And I guess that was a couple of years before Riget, or was it after? I don't know. It was around that time, the golden age of Lars von Trier. Let's just call it that. And that was about throwing all convenient stuff out during the filming. Like no extra lights. We only have the light that is, natural to have in the house. So it's only done by lights in the, just like Stanley Kubrick would do with candlelight movie. But like think out of the box and give yourself some. In Denmark we call it benspænd. Some obstacles. So it you kind of it challenge the, I guess, the artistic progress. I would say it like that. I'm a painter myself, so yeah. I could see how that would be cool. I often do that myself, trying to paint what I just said I never would do. That's what I'm getting at. So anywho, the new one. We've been waiting 25 years since we left the building, literally, and it was shaking, and it was Lilleborg, coming out of the crotch, and it's once you've seen that stuff, you never forget it. That's why I say I think this show is just as important as anything Lars von Trier has done. It's not only making, movie or TV with your left hand. It maybe is, the best stuff he ever done. Also because he's so good at writing satire, and hitting people where it really hurts sometimes. And that only make it funnier, because then you're really close to the base. And that's just how I perceive his, well, what do you call it, humor. I think it's laugh out loud stuff. He knows what is making you cringe, and he's really pushing that button from time to time. And with a kind of a sadistic, maybe that's the way, twist to it. Maybe that's the way, and that, or how he often has, found himself in some deep waters and getting, banned from Cannes in 5 years because he mentioned something about understanding a Mr. Adolf, and it was only a black humor, a really typical Danish joke you will make, but at the family dinner, not in a film festival. But Lars von Trier, I guess, really felt he needed to give somebody the bird, until once again, listen people, I don't give a fuck. I'm Lars von Trier. I can say anything I want to. Just watch. Oh, I'm banned? Then you're gonna get a fucking porno movie next year. And then he did that. That was just a little finger. Nymphomaniac. Antichrist. Marvelous. I'm just putting that in there. It was just a little side note. And if you haven't seen I would call this maybe his masterpiece, The House That Jack Built and Antichrist. That's the freaking shit. And if you really are into Lars von Trier and want to see more of his satire, you should check out a Danish movie called Direktøren for det hele. Yeah. Just go on IMDb and look for this picture. Great stuff, really funny, and this is the most important one if you want to understand Lars von Trier. De 5 benspænd, apropos benspænd, the 5 obstacles. Just look at the picture. We're gonna do this quick. Look for it on IMDb, or IMDb, or what are you gonna use? I don't know if there's an English title. There could be. Dogville, that's not my favorite. Dancer in the Dark could be my second most. Or it's a tie in my head. The best Lars von Trier. If I should give you a quick top 3, I would say Riget, The House, and Dancer in the Dark. Dancer in the Dark has, the most beautiful music also, so it is just a banger, a winner. So yes, back to Exodus, and just so I'm not leaving you, out to dry with the review part of the whole video. As you can see, nothing is, what do you call it, prepared in this video. I'm just rambling, and I'm hoping you'll get the point by the end. That was my start goal. just fucking tell them they need to see the new Lars von Trier TV series if they haven't, or if it's gone by the radar. And what can we say about the new show? What can I say without spoiling? I'm trying. If I spoil something, it will not be a something that's a real spoiler. But it picks up directly from where we left it 25 years ago, but at the same time it had to do something different this time, because a lot of actors has died after the second part, including this guy and the other main actor, the one who's called Druse, the old lady, who sees the ghost in the elevator, and she's gone also. And the one who played the head of the whole Riget is gone. And Buller in the cellar, the one with Druse going on a ghostbuster hunt, is gone. They're both gone. So yeah, as I mentioned, for real, and that's the beauty part of it. As soon as it starts, without spoiling, it goes directly into the bedroom of a new character, but she was a friend to Druse, and she is played by maybe the best Danish female actor in present time. That's just the cherry number one, and she is also a psychic. You know what I mean? As soon as this hits the ground, it's a beautiful thing to behold. And they're going directly back to the way the TV show, the first two seasons, was shot, and in that yellowish color, almost, you see it here, like they're using I would call it a 70 TV filter. I don't know what it is, but it looks like a home video of some sort. But this season I think this is more cinematic done than the first two. The first two, as I recall it, was done in 4:3, the old TV box format before widescreen televisions were the new standard, or is the new standard by these days. Has been for many years, and that just tells you how many years that we have been waiting on this shit, because the new standard is, widescreen, and the new show is what I saw was shot in a widescreen mode. Maybe that was a wrong scaling on my TV. I'm not sure, but it looks in that way a bit more modern. And then but without spoiling anything, because this is only 5 minutes in this next bit, you learn that the TV show in this season was the TV show. They are playing on the meta angle. It's you've seen a couple of times before that they're dealing with the same thing that we are dealing with. It's like this is done in an alternate universe, ours or a different one. You never would, and you're not gonna get the answer. So it's not spoiling anything. And along the lines, the next 5 hours before it ends, come to a full stop. The final chapter. And again, without spoiling, that fact is getting more and more blurred. And I'm not gonna spoil if it ends up being, clear or not. But it is just like pure brillante. And what's also just as important to mention is that in the first 25 years ago seasons 1 and 2, the best of Denmark had to offer concerning actors were in it. You know, a lot of them has passed on since, and now they did the new one, and you can say exactly the same thing again. They just filled up all the big holes, the big gaps, with just the new generation of pure fucking cool actors. Great. It is what it is. I know it sounds like I'm miracolo bambini, this shit up your schnozzle, but it is that's the light version, if you ask me. This is pure brillante, and I'm not even gonna touch on what's happening with the dishwasher, because that one is only for the Danes, almost only for the Danes, because that character called Jesper in real life has an origin story that is from real life, you know, and he's almost just playing himself, just like the old ones did. I guess you could call them Mongol. In Denmark we call them Mongoler. But since then, you know, funny enough, the science and the science that doctor uses, the doctor world, you know, what do you call it, Riget, have done a number on you know, like people like the Mongolerne, you know, like watching them before they get born on the radar and saying to people, oh my God, it's gonna be a Mongol. You want that? Oh no, get it out of here. And what do you know? The Mongols are scarce city now, you know? I don't know. Anywho, I kind of lost track there for a mile or two, talking about the Mongols. But yeah, we have a new Mongol in town in this one, and it's a robot and a guy called Jesper from morning television, mostly known. That's a big topic in itself, I guess. So we're just gonna leave it at that. We had an upgrade on the dishwasher front in this also, and the fact that one of the, you know, handicapped is replaced by a robot is in itself a very, very funny thing. You know, that's black humor, that's satire when it works. I just gotta say. And the new Swedish actor that is in it instead of his father is brillante. And what is more, also very important to shine a light on. If you're sick and tired of the Me Too in the world, and also but especially Me Too, that one gets a really, really hard kick in the cooter pooter, and it's done in a way that only Lars von Trier can get away with it. It's chef's kiss. And we even got a Skarsgård, as I mentioned. We got the new wave of the greatest. We got the one who played the Viking and Tarzan and stuff. The long, tall Skarsgård. Not the old one. The old one is I would almost call him a family member of Lars von Trier. Stellan Skarsgård. That's the guy who have been in most von Trier film ever, I think, on the planet. He's the mascot, if Lars ever had one. But his son is in this one instead, Tarzan. And he's playing like a Me Too advocate, and he has a office in the toilet, and he uses a horn when the next customer is supposed to enter his office. It's pure brillante. Pure Fellini-esque brillante. The whole, that's some of the funniest shit in this season. And I would, what's more, also more, oh yeah, we are, even the Lillebror thing is I'm not gonna, again, I'm just gonna say, you will not be disappointed. He's taking Lillebror to a next level in this one also. It's, I could also spoil the ending, some of the end, but you know, just like a tidbit, but I will not. Gotta be here. Lucio Fulci would be fucking proud. It is like, how this is not talked about more. Is this even the first review on YouTube around Exodus? If that's the fact, that's a true crime. That's the worst problem this planet got right now, this day and age. I would say so. It is. What more can we say without spoiling? Yeah, but the new character, I forgot, Karen, I think her name is Karen in this one. She goes around and with a new buller from the basement, also done by a brilliant actor, big guy. He almost looked like Jesus, but bloated Jesus. He's a character in it's just beautiful. He's from the country. He says a lot, so he's used to doing rough things. It's just pure brilliant. It's so just out of the gate. It's so liberating to watch this, because what I got out of it at the end, it was like watching a master class, and he just showed you how you can make your own movie or write a book, because doesn't have to, I'm trying not to spoil, it doesn't have to make a lot of sense at the end, and a lot of plot points is also in that ballpark. That was my message. It's like, as long as you are funny on the screen, or into, like, just like making a true vibe. I was about to say, like, it almost gets deep, I would say, because it's not as shallow as it looks. It's at the same time, it is. Does that make any sense? I just got a ringing in my ear. That often happens, almost like a tuning fork. The like the sound of truth, the little angel horn. I'm just kidding. But this is Lars von Trier's little angel horn, I would say. This is, if I, as I said, I already put it on top, and to conclude it, the whole series, and to conclude it, the Exodus, that is putting the cap on the series, and is like almost like done in the way of, he could end his career with this one, because he's ill in real life, and you will learn that when you see the show also, again without spoiling. but he talks to you, at the end of each episode, if you remember. And this one is different because of the way he feels these days. It's not very good. So let's just end this with a little prayer for Lars von Trier. Lars von Trier, we hope that you will not go to hell because of Riget. Though it seems like you kind of have almost packed your bag and are ready to take, the flight. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Is this spoiling? You never know. Anywho, thank you for watching. I think we will end it like this and say, this is 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up. Way to go, Lars von Trier. You really showed them all, and just thank you very much. And also to all of you guys, thank you very much for watching. And remember, Lars von Trier is one of the greatest directors of all time. Yeah.